Hi everyone, this is Meenakshi Ramesh from tapyourwaytohealing.com. Today is day 25 of the Autism Awareness Month series of videos. Today I'm going to share a few more things about surrogate tapping. Today the process that I'm going to share was developed by Gwyneth Moss. She is an EFT master. And she has come up with this 3-step process for surrogate tapping. So basically surrogate tapping, a quick recap. What is surrogate tapping? It is actually kind of like remote healing. You can do this tapping for someone else, even if they are like miles and miles away from you. You know, you must have heard about this remote healing process through other modalities. And the same thing can be achieved through EFT as well. So basically we are setting an intention and tapping for the other person. So before we set the intention, there is always, the prior process involves clearing our emotions. I did do a few videos before on surrogate tapping, so I don't remember which day was that. You can always go back and look into the videos, watch the videos. So today's process is a 3-step process by Gwyneth Moss. The first step is you talk about that person. If you're tapping for someone, in the case of your child, if you're tapping for your child, you talk about that child. If you're worried about something, or if you're concerned about a certain goal that they want to achieve, or concerned about a certain behavior, so you talk about them as if it's like you're telling a story. So when you're telling the story, make sure that you're tapping through the points. You can start here and then go around the points as if you're telling the story, as if you're basically telling the story. So when you tell the story, what can happen is when you're tapping, you can come across feelings, guesses, and different components, different aspects, emotions. Many things can come up as you start doing this process. So as you're bringing those things to the surface and tapping, that in itself is enough. That's what Gwyneth says. She says sometimes just doing this first step, talking about the person, telling the story about that person, can itself make a huge shift in the outcome that you're not how to say this, you're not imposing the outcome, but basically it's kind of wishing them well or setting an intention, kind of like sending a prayer. So can make a shift in the other person. This is the first step. So talk about. The second step is talk to. You kind of establish an imaginary dialogue with the person. You're talking to the person, and as you're tapping, you're talking as if, I'm really worried about you. I'm worried about your health. I'm sure you're feeling the same way too. So it's kind of like when you say I'm worried about your health, just imagine what the other person would say to you, what kind of a reply or response you get from your child. So you can kind of develop an imaginary dialogue and tap through the points. That is the second step. So even in this step also, you may come across feelings, words, images, memories. So just allow them to come. Whatever comes up, just be an observer and allow them to come. But make sure that you're always tapping in this step. So the first one is talk about. The second step is talk to. You're talking to the person, developing an imaginary dialogue. The third step is talk as if you are that person. Talk as if you are your child, or if you're a caregiver or a teacher, talk as if that you are that individual on the spectrum. And in this step, it's like kind of a role play that you're doing. So you just basically, again, kind of tune into their energy and guess as to what they are going through in that moment. This is something I mentioned in my previous videos also on surrogate tapping. So that's what you're doing in the step 3. Talk about, talk to, and talk as if. So in all these stages of tapping, we are not imposing an outcome. We are not trying to manipulate or trying to make them be a certain way. we are always clearing our energy, our emotions, our feelings towards that person, and hold that person in a loving space, thinking what is it that they are going through. So this is something I feel this was very profound. Just feel free to try it, play around with this process, and let me know how it goes. So recap again, talk about 3 steps in surrogate tapping developed by Gwyneth Moss. Talk about, talk to, talk us. So talk about is something we always do when we tell a story, right? When something happened, when we share it with friends and family, we always do that. See, this thing happened with my child, or this thing happened at home, this happened in our relationship, this happened at work. There's something we always do. But in the process of surrogate tapping, we are telling the story and tapping on ourselves, which can really, really clear the issue. What happens with talking is when we talk and talk and talk, and then the next day you go, and the next day, so weeks after you come back, you're at the same level. You take the issue, it's like there is no resolution. You're at the same place where you started. But when you're talking and tapping, that changes the energy, that dissipates the charge on the emotion, the intensity, and you get relief. You get relief and sometimes total resolution of the problem. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Surrogate tapping again by Gwyneth Moss, and thank you for watching. Keep tapping, keep watching. I will see you again tomorrow with another video. Bye for now.